What's kind of a sad indictment on Washington is we tend to measure how committed we are to solutions by how much money we throw at it. And we should be more concerned about the outcome of the money that we're spending rather than how much money we're spending. Nobody else in the world measures their success based on how much money they're losing. They measure their success on how much money they're making. And so I think it's a little disingenuous to say that looking for cuts is harmful to the process. It could be that some of these agencies, if they were operating more efficiently, might be doing a little better job. I want to congratulate the President on his ability to get his cabinet members out scaring the American people. I think he's doing an outstanding job doing that. They've spent an inordinate amount of time coming up with individual numbers in every district in this country to tell every member of Congress how much money sequester might cut or affect their district. Wonder what would have happened if the President's people had spent all of that time putting a budget together for this country. I think that would have been much more productive, and then we could have seen actually something positive and concrete out of this President on how he intends to address this issue. To date, the President has not said how he wants to do this, but what he has been clear on is that he wants to continue to tax and spend and mortgage. I want people to look up at that clock, not as a debt clock, but that what you're watching is your children's and grandchildren's future being mortgaged at a pretty fast clip. And so one of the things that I hear members worried about what's going to happen to their districts. What I think we need to be worrying about is what's going to happen to our country. And if we continue to go down this road, we are in fact mortgaging the future of our children and our grandchildren. If by a stroke of the pen I could stop that clock at $16.6 trillion, and then we begin to talk about a plan to pay this money back, let's just do a 30-year mortgage. So if you do a 30-year mortgage on $16.6 trillion, and let's just go back to let's pay it out over 30 years. People are used to a 30-year mortgage. And you go back to more historic mortgage rates of 30-year Treasury bonds be about 4.25. Does anybody know what the payments would be on $16.4 trillion? Well, I would tell you, they're $960 billion a year. And you look at that in comparison to a $3.8 billion budget that we have right now, you can begin to understand the difference of what we're paying in interest today and if we were even to ever think about paying this money back. And so I think, Mr. Chairman, I want to applaud you for having this hearing. I think it's important that Congress, whether other branches of government are doing their job or not, I think it's important that the United States Congress do their job. But what I think is more important is we begin to get serious about a very serious issue, and that is how do we keep, or how we slow down, or how we actually eventually stop mortgaging the future of our children and our grandchildren. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.